Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Story Garden with your host, Miss Diann. I'm so happy to have you here today. I have a fun story for us, but before we get started, be sure you hit the subscribe button just below. I never want you to miss the opportunity to hear a new story in the Story Garden. So sit back and relax, put on your imagination cap, because we are about to go on a fun-filled adventure. Here it is, The Little Girl in the Moon, Moxie, and Tycho Town. And here is Moxie. Moxie is the little girl in the moon's doggie. And this book was written by me, Diann Floyd Boehm. Well, one of the things I want to tell you about is Tycho Town is in Tycho Crater. And that's a real crater on the moon. Remember how we put on our imagination caps? Well, I definitely have my imagination cap on when I'm writing all about the little girl in the moon. And guess what? The little boy in the moon is in the next story coming up. Yes, actually 2 more stories, but it's going to be exciting. Before we go learning about the other stories and me reading to them, I want you to come with me and see what Tycho Town is all about. Well, here's the backstory. Ready? Because it's not in the book. It's a secret about how I was thinking with my imagination. There's a lot going on in Tycho Town. But remember in The Little Girl in the Moon, how she wanted the Earthlings to know about her? Well, guess what? All the moonlings love Earth. They love listening to the songs and everything, just like we like singing about the moon. Now remember, this is my imagination. So I'm making this up, but that's okay. And I bet you could do the same too. Well, in Tycho Town, they just love the earth so much, they decided to take part of Tycho and build it a little bit like Earth so they could have a feeling of being on Earth. And that's what we're going to explore today is Tycho Town, this one section. You ready? Imagination cap on. Here we go. Today is a great day to show you around my moonling town, said the little girl in the moon. This is Moxie. She is my Talala, what earthlings call a dog. She's going to be our guide. So here's Moxie, and she is wearing a helmet because she's just above Tycho Town by the crater. Remember that I told you about? So she needs to have on her little helmet so she can have her oxygen. There's something else you're going to learn too that she's wearing. Ready? Okay, let's go. My Tanusa, our town, is called Tycho, said the little girl in the moon. You may have heard it called Tycho Crater where you're from. We're standing just outside the crater and we need help to breathe, said the little girl in the moon. That's why Moxie and I are wearing space helmets. And here's Tycho Crater. Moonling Tanusas are very similar to your towns, except we live inside of the moon crater. So moonling craters, right? Like Earth craters. This way, we can have gravity. Well, sort of. Our shoes have special material inside that allows us to stay on the ground. But if we take them off, we'll float away, said the little girl in the moon. Moxie wagged her tail in agreement. And here's Moxie's shoes that keep her on the ground. They have doggies just like us. Moxie, press the moon rock so we can enter the crater. Moxie. That moon rock's pretty, isn't it? Okay, we can take off our helmets now. Ah, there you go, Moxie. You're so cute. You're just a cute little thing, said the little girl in the moon as she helped Moxie take her helmet off. Remember, Moxie's our guide. So here we go. Our town is a little bit like a small town on Earth, said the little girl in the moon. You see, we enjoy watching Earthlings and all your beautiful traditions around the world. So the grown up moonlings decided to build a town just like yours so we could experience what life might be like on Earth, said the little girl in the moon. Let's follow Moxie. She wants to show you around. Moxie wagged her tail in agreement, leading them on the way. Wow, let's see what the first stop is. This is the Groceria Estora, just like your grocery store, said the little girl in the moon. And Moxie wagged her tail in excitement, thinking about all the yummy treats inside. And here's what their grocery store looks like. Kind of cool looking, right? Let's see what happens next. Oh, and here is our Talala Kition Hostel. So I got so excited seeing it because I just love these words. So I'm going to say it again. You're standing in front of the Talala and Kition Hostel, a hotel for, can you guess? That's right, for doggies and kittens, said the little girl in the moon. They have everything that makes a Talala and a Kition happy. Right, Moxie? Moxie wagged her tail again in agreement. And here's what the hotel looks like. How fun is that? Next, this is the banka. You call it a bank in your town, said the little girl in the moon. It's where we save our money. It's the bank. Banka. You're learning moonling words. How exciting is that? Our kirka is a place to sit and enjoy the quietness of the moon, said the little girl in the moon. It's one of my and Moxie's favorite places to go. I like this place. After sitting in our quiet place, we often go to the firma and smell all the yummy things baking, said the little girl in the moon. I know, Moxie loves the smell too. Moxie wagged her tail in agreement. Do you visit the bakery in your town? Burma. I love going to the bakery. I like baking too. One day let's bake together, okay? Well, this is an interesting building. The Tycho Car Park. Can you guess what that is? Oh, you got two words right. Car park. What does the rest mean? Well, it's where we park our flying cars, said the little girl in the moon. Earthlings have car parks too, but most cars on Earth can't fly yet, can they? Oh, you're working on it. Yay! Moxie watched a car whiz by and wagged her tail. No, Moxie, you can't go for a car ride yet. We have to finish our tour, said the little girl in the moon. Let's see what the car park looks like. Wow, they park right up here. And then the moonlings take an elevator and go down. So they're on the ground. Yes, they have to wear their special shoes. And when you study science, you'll learn about gravity. Well, our next stop is the hospital. Can you guess what that means? Hospital. You got it, hospital. You call it a hospital on Earth, said the little girl in the moon. And here we go, the hospital. Our hospital. Hospital, biddle, 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 biddle. Can you go biddle, 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 biddle? I like to add to the books. That's not in the story, but it is fun to read, right? Okay, you ready for this one? Very close to the hospital is our Civis Retenere Station. Do you know what that is? No? Okay, well, let's find out. Where we find the moonlings' civil services, like the police and the fire station, just like you have police and the firemen and women. So, on Earth, we have that, and they have it too, said the little girl in the moon. And check that out. So, right up here, they can stand and see what's going on. And again, a place for the cars to park. And they get down if they wanted to walk outside. Otherwise, they're flying off in their cars. And the fire trucks too, right? Oh, and the fire trucks come out from there, as well as the people if they wanted, meeting the moonlings. Well, imagination, right? Now this one you're gonna like. At least I hope you should. Our Schule sounds very much like the word you use for school, said the little girl in the moon. Of course, they have to go to school so they can learn just like you. Moxie and I love to visit the playground there too, just like you. And here is their Schule. That's a cool looking school, right? Well, let's see what the next stop is. This is the Ak Chopin. Ak Chopin, said the little girl in the moon. You call it a rock shop. Moxie wagged her tail again. She loved to chew on rocks, and the little girl in the moon would let her. I like rock shops on Earth too. I like rocks. Do you like rocks? Rocks are amazing, and in science you can study about them and all the minerals that make all the different types of rocks. I would love for you to write me sometime and tell me about your rock collection. Well, where is Moxie taking us now? Oh, the Lithion Theatron, what you call live theater, is where we watch all kinds of plays and musicals, said the little girl in the moon. I always like to sing along. Moxie barked and wagged her tail. She liked to sing along too. So the little girl in the moon likes to sing. I bet you do too. One day I'll teach you a really neat song. It's a fun one. It's the one I teach when I go to the various schools. Where are we going now? Well, now Moxie wants to see you and show you the Museda. Museda. Do you know what that is? Well, let's find out. Well, the Museda is where we learn about the history of the moon, and we can touch and feel lots of rocks and fossils, said the little girl in the moon. What do you find in your museums? Well, we have all kinds of museums, don't we? We have museums about rocks and space and art. What kind of museum do you like to go to? I would love for you to write me and tell me, with the help of your mommy and daddy, of course, or your loved one. Ooh, this is a great place. Our Tunisia Center, what you would call town center down on earth, is where we go for all kinds of things, said the little girl in the moon. We especially like looking at the stars and the cosmos, Zerva, just like you, said. Moxie wagged her tail in agreement. Except you would call this the Cosmo Observatory, but just ours is just like yours, the observatory. As you can see, the center looks like a beautiful town just like yours, said the little girl in the moon. If a town leader wants to talk to all of the moonlings, then we come to the square in the evening to listen and watch the universe or to look at the earth, said the little girl in the moon. The drone or the doors open and a giant telescope comes out. We love those telescopes. They're called slowpokes. It comes out and the city leaders, they beam light and they help us with this telescope see on this giant screen giant stars and black holes, all kinds of things. It's spectacular. Like when you go to the observatory in your area and you can watch and see the stars and shows too, said the little girl in the moon, and Moxie wagged her tail in agreement. So there's the Cosmo Observatory. It's not, the top isn't open yet, but it's really pretty, isn't it? Well, this is our Tanusa, our town, said the little girl in the moon. Moxie loves showing you around Tycho Tanusa, and we hope you enjoyed the tour. Here's the town and all the different streets. I enjoyed going through the town and hearing some of the moonling words, didn't you? And when you get the book, it'll show you all the moonling words real easily in a row and what they mean in English. Moxie's a fun little doggie, isn't she? I like Moxie. Well, I hope you enjoyed using your imagination and visiting Tycho Town, otherwise you know as Tycho Crater. When you're with your teacher and you bring her the book, you can ask her to talk to you and the class about Tycho Crater. There's so much to learn about Tycho Crater, and maybe you can even go to the International Space Station and find out what all the astronauts are doing in other parts of space. There's a whole giant universe to explore, and I bet you can come up with your own stories too. Why? Because you have your imagination cap on. Well, that's it for today. I can't wait to see you till next time. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you forgot. And until then, have a beautiful day. And if you can, go outside if it's a lovely day and your family says it's okay. Remember, embrace imagination. Till next time, bye for now.